We are going to go into how to use the advanced search in Ravelry. Let me go back because I hit that kind of fast. Here's our patterns homepage. We've clicked patterns and we're here. We're going to now click advanced search to find the perfect next project. All right, this is where most people get overwhelmed and then shut down completely trying to use Ravelry to find something to make. They've been told by their daughter, son, granddaughter, husband, great Aunt Betsy, I would like a cable, blah, blah, blah. And then they're on a mission to find the pattern, and they get here and they see there are 1,232,713,000 knitting patterns to look through. Where on earth do you go from here? You can't just type in cabled vest, because that's going to give you a whole hodgepodge of results. You want to know specifically how to best narrow down your search to really get the results you want. So let's talk about that. The filters on the left-hand side of your screen are your best friends in the advanced search function. They will allow you to filter out all the noise and really get down to what you want to make using the materials you have to make it with. And one of the neatest things about this advanced search is that you can rearrange these filters so that the ones you like to use the most are on top. So the little 6 dots, when we hover over that right here, it changes to a little 4-point arrow. That means we can drag it around and we can rearrange. So this is what I always have at the top because it really makes a difference for me. Is this pattern available for me to sell to a customer in store? This is not one of the options you're going to have in your list, but that's why it's at the top of my list. But next, you might want this one at the top. This is category. So this is often where we like to start when we're searching for something of a certain kind of pattern. We already know probably what category it falls into, and so we're going to want this one up near the top. Next on my list is yardage. This is really helpful. If you know how many skeins you have to work with, how many yards you have available, you can narrow that down. So we're going to use an example today of a shawl. And so let's say we need to find a shawl. We've got 4 skeins of sock yarn, and 3 of them are one color, 1 of them's another color. And we'd like to find a shawl that we could make with those 4 skeins. So first off, we're going to narrow down our categories. So a shawl is an accessory, so we click accessories. And we don't want to look at all the accessories because we don't want to see bags, belts, socks, any of this. We want to just see shawls. So we're going to go to torso, neck, torso. That gives us another drop down. Again, we don't want all of these because we don't need a bib. Oops, I just clicked bib on accident. We don't need a bib. But we do want to see shawl wrap. Okay, let's click that. And you can see right here, it's telling us already we've narrowed it down from 1.2 million to 84,000, which sounds insane, but it's still progress. So we need to either press escape or the X to close these little buttons. So we're going to close and close. All right, we've got our category narrowed down. Now we're going to put in some more information. We know our skeins of sock yarn are 400 yards each, and we have 4 of them. So I'm going to go ahead and click this box right here that says I've got 900 to 1,200 yards. And as you can see, that's narrowed it down to 20,000. We're making progress. Also, I only want to see knitting patterns, so I'm going to say knitting. Now we're down to 14,000. I definitely want to make sure I don't see the 240 results that don't even have pictures. Why those even exist, can't tell you. So I'm going to click has photo just because I don't want those in the mix. I don't want a free pattern. I want to be able to buy this pattern right now on Ravelry. So I don't want it to be in a book. I don't want it to be in a magazine. I want to be able to get it now. I know I want it immediately. So I'm just going to go ahead and click Ravelry download. You can click multiples of these. If you want to also see free Ravelry downloads, you can add that button right there. I'm just going to leave this as it is. We've got down to 11,000. But we can see there's a lot of patterns in here that have like more than just 2 colors, or maybe they're all solids. We're still not quite there. And 11,000 is a lot of patterns to go through. So we have some important filters yet to check. Here is one of my favorites, weight. What weight of yarn are we going to use? This is really handy if you know you're going to make something for someone and you know you're not going to get lost in tiny stitches with fingering weight. You want it to be maybe like DK or worsted. You can select both of those. In our example, I know that my yarn is sock yarn and it's going to be fingering. I'm going to click fingering. Now I've just narrowed down all the results to only fingering weight patterns. We're down to 4,638. It's looking good. If we want to know if we've already seen one of these patterns, like if it's something we figured we added to our own queue at some point, we can actually select a filter here in this area. I don't want to do that now. Age, size, fit, this can really be helpful because oftentimes you get stuff, especially if you're looking for sweaters, you get things for babies and kids. So if you're looking for a sweater, go ahead and click, and you know it's for an adult. Click adult, you can see it narrows down our choices even further. 1,500 choices now. We got to click next to close that. Now let's say you know you want it to have stranded color work, or maybe a certain design element, or a certain fabric characteristic. Like I just want it to have eyelets. Oh, let's say we want it to be lace. So we're going to click lace. That's 709 patterns. Woo, we're just screaming through these, aren't we? You can select if you'd like to use yarns held together or not. Here's another great one that people don't usually know about. Colors used. Huh? Remember I said we had 3 skeins of one color and 1 skein of another color? I'm going to go ahead and click 2. And we are finally down to 113 patterns from 1.2 million. Isn't this fantastic? So none of this, I typically don't use fiber, etc., because it doesn't really much matter to me. Needle size could be helpful if you know you have, like, say you have a fine yarn and you want to, like I have fingering. If I added in size 7, this is going to show me the 14 patterns designed for a size 7 needle. Actually, let's do a size 6 because that'll get us down to 47 patterns. So we have really, really narrowed it down. This is where those ratings that I told you to leave on your patterns, this is where those come in handy because this helps narrow down if you want it to have a good written pattern, etc. You want it to be easy, etc. Unfortunately, at this point, not a lot of people are using these yet, so I don't typically use these to filter because I don't think there's enough data to really give you good answers. The rest of this is very specific, like crochet terminology. We're going to say English just because sometimes you might find the occasional pattern that has only been written in another language. We don't want that unless you speak the other language. And there's a lot of other random tags, etc., that we can click. So we have pretty much hit the bottom of the filters. Let's go look at our results. We scroll all the way back up to the top, 46. We had 1.2 million when we started, 46. All right. Here are all of the things we selected at the top. Do you see all of those here? If we click the pencil because we want to change our mind, we can edit these right here. So if you decide that that's not the needle size you want to look for, you can edit that right here. Let's say you don't want to have that English restriction anymore. You can just click the X. It'll take that filter away and add back in anything that it had been removed by that filter. So what we are looking at are shawls, fingering weight shawls, knit on a size 6 with 2 colors with lace. I mean, it's just beautiful how you can narrow this down. If we scroll down to the bottom, they all fit on one page. How incredible is that? This is absolutely doable. So now what? What do we do? I've just realized that my little picture at the corner of your screen is going to cover something up that I need you to see. And I don't know if I can change that on the fly. So we might have to improvise a little bit here. So this is how you can start to narrow down your 46 results even further. Don't go clicking and looking inside each and every one of these. Take a pass first, looking just at these thumbnails. And if you like what you see, like let's say we really love the spring blooms, click the 3 dots right here. You see how our cursor turned into a little hand? Click the 3 dots. We get a whole bunch of information just right here. You get the sizes, like the size of the shawl. How many people have made it? 35. Okay, that's pretty decent. There's several photos to look at if we want. We can see, oh, people who've done this also like. We can save it to our favorites. We can, let's say we hate this. We don't want to see anything else from this person ever. We can hide this. I've never actually used that, but you know, it's there. But this is the best part of all of it. We can click remember and compare. The little yellow star. Now it's got this little yellow star. And on your screen, where I am not, right down here in the bottom right corner is going to be a little box with the yellow stars and a number that will keep tallying up the more of these that we click to remember and compare. So let's keep browsing and select a few more. Page turner looks good. 14 people have made it. Let's add that to our remember and compare. And what do we think? How about sweet dreams? Remember and compare. You can add as many as you like. And we'll add soulmate. This looks good. Remember and compare. I don't know how to get to this because my face is blocking it. We might have to take just a moment, just a pause. Will I turn off my video? Let's see if I can do that. Settings. Nope. I just want to move my video. Ooh, I have an idea. We'll go. There we go. Now you can see it right here. Here is our little remember and compare. I think there was a few in there from the last time I did this. Click this little box here to just view those patterns. Now we'll get back. Now we can see here are just the patterns that I asked to remember and compare. Yes, there's all these patterns that I must have had from some other time. But now we can really see we're just interested in these patterns. Let me remove some of the ones that don't relate to our shawl search. They were here previously, but it'll show you how to remove it. All you need to do to stop remembering and comparing is just scroll right back down again and click stop remembering. It'll take it out of the list. Let's remove this sweater and stop and stop. Okay, I'm going to hit refresh really quick, clear up our list here. Oh, I have to hit remember and compare again. I want you to refresh. Well, this little myself in the bottom right corner has been a bit of a problem, but you get the idea. This allows you to really take a closer look, and now is the time that you actually can click in and go view one of these patterns more detail. So that is all about in our next video.